of all Americans, and I believe, as I did when I came here 20 years ago, that government should work for the people and not the other way around. And as a body, we've gathered together in celebration to award congressional gold medals to giants like Pope John Paul II and Rosa Parks and Billy Graham. And we've gathered together in the great rotunda of this building in mourning to pay our respects to a great leader, Ronald Reagan. I'm proud to have been part of this unique time in the history of our country. Few people understand what support it takes to run this House of Representatives. I'm grateful for the legions of dedicated individuals who serve the House day in and day out. The Speaker adds a huge core of people, mostly behind the scenes, who make this institution run. I could have not done this job without the officers of the House, the staff who serves them, and those who have served in members' offices and committee offices and leadership offices and the Speaker's office. And I want to personally highlight a few who make this institution work. Bill Livingston is the longest-serving officer today in this House. And I also want to thank the U.S. Capitol Police for their daily diligence in protecting us. Some of us remember that day in July in 1998 when somebody broke into this Capitol and in an action right outside the office that my family happened to be in and I served in at that time, that two of our police officers were shot and killed to protect us. I will never forget that day. Jay Egan, the Chief Administrative Officer of the House, has done an incredible job in managing the financial and operational affairs here. And Father Dan Coughlin, the chaplain of the House, has been a healer and has led us in a quiet way. Father Dan arrived at a time of turmoil, some of you may remember. A reporter asked him whether or not he was prepared to step into this lion's den. And he looked at him and quietly responded, and he said, "Well, my name is Daniel." Karen Haas, the clerk of the House, loves this institution and has inspired countless people to have the same respect for this chamber and its legislative operations as she does. John Sullivan, the parliamentarian, has given us wise and steady guidance with an even temperament. And Admiral John Eisel, our attending physician, whose leadership during the anthrax crisis calmed the fears of anxious members and staff. Alan Hauptman, the architect of the Capitol, and his staff were responsible for maintaining this beautiful monument. It's the place that we work in, but the epitome of freedom to the world. During my tenure as Speaker, we created the Office of Interparliamentary Affairs, ably headed by Martha Morrison, so that we could more effectively interact with our legislative colleagues around the world, as together we try and share the blessings of democracy with those who have been oppressed and by tyranny and are only now enjoying the fruits of freedom. And we also reinstituted the Office of the Historian, headed by Dr. Remini and his deputy, Fred Butler, and they are commended for their hard work. And I want to especially thank Pope Barrow and his staff in the Legislative Counsel's office, and Peter Lefevre and his staff in the Law Revision Counsel's office. You didn't even know we had that office, did you? Geraldine Jennett and her staff in the House General Counsel's office have helped us negotiate through some difficult constitutional issues and have been our legal guardians. And Kurt Coughlin and his staff in the Office of Emergency Planning who have become so important to us in the post-9/11 world. And I'm especially grateful to the dedicated individuals who served me so well over the years. I've been so blessed to have an incredibly dedicated and talented team, from my Illinois district office, my 14th district office here in Washington, and to the staff in the office of the Speaker. And while they are not employees of the House, I also want to thank those over at the NRCC who have helped me fulfill my political responsibilities as a party leader. I hope each of them knows my personal gratitude for their service. They have spent many long days and many long nights working here to make this a better country. And I know they've sacrificed time with their family and friends to do so. On behalf of a grateful Speaker, I want to thank them all for their service. In particular, I want to thank my Chief of Staff, Scott Palmer, who Scott has been with me since 1986 when I first came to Congress. Scott, you and Mike Stokey and Sam Lancaster and Bill Hughes and so many others have given so much of your time, and I'm so proud of what you've accomplished together. And next month, we will begin a new Congress. Power will change without a shot being fired, peacefully as the Founding Fathers envisioned. Those of us on this side of the aisle will become the loyal opposition, and the gentlelady from California, Mrs. Pelosi, will assume the duties as our Speaker. I know she will do so with skill and grace, and that she will bring honor to this institution. In a few short months, the Capitol Visitor Center will be completed. In that center, the work of this Congress will be described to future generations. Visitors will view an introductory film entitled, Out of Many, One, E Pluribus Unum. In my first speech as your Speaker, I said that solutions to problems cannot be found in a pool of bitterness. The framers expected the floor of this House to be a place of passionate debate, a place where competing ideas and philosophies clash, a crucible where many ideas can be blended together to forge a strong nation. But this floor should also be a place of civility and mutual respect, and a place where statesmanship and not just electoral politics guide our decisions. President Reagan was right. There is no limit to what we could accomplish, if you don't mind who gets the credit. 8 years ago, I broke with tradition and gave my inaugural speech from this microphone in the well of the House, and not from the Speaker's chair. I did so because I said my legislative home is here on this floor with so many of you, and so is my heart. Sitting in the Speaker's chair is an honor I will always cherish, but I believe there is an actual even greater honor. It is one that each of you share with me. It is bestowed upon us by the citizens of this country, one by one, as they go into the voting booth and elect us with their sacred ballot. It is the honor of raising our hands and taking the oath as a member of this House of Representatives, and then to sit on one of these benches. So, on January 4th, I'll be privileged to rejoin you on these benches, where my heart is, here on the floor of this great House. May God bless each of you. May God bless the People's House. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.